Anything you do, or in fact everything that you do on Microsoft Azure, depends on what access level you have. Are you an owner or a contributor or maybe just a reader? There are so many RBAC roles that defines your authority in Azure Cloud. No wonder it's such an important part when preparing AZ-104, or should I say it's not just limited to the certification, it's a really important core concept that you must understand, or else you will be scratching your head entire life when you're not able to do something on Azure. So join me on this special video where we take loads of important questions on access management and become one step closer to AZ-104 exam certification. Hello and welcome back to the Tech Blackboard. And today in this AZ-104 exam preparation series, let's focus on access management. So let's begin today's episode with question number 81, part 12. The question says that you have an Azure subscription named Subscription 1 that contains a virtual network named VNet1. Now VNet1 is in the resource group named RG1. Subscription 1 has a user named User1. Now the User1 has the following roles. Here you can see that User1 has the reader role. It also has the security admin along with security reader. And the question further says that you need to ensure that User1 can assign the reader role for VNet1 to other users. What should you do? Your options are: option A, assign user1 to network contributor role for VNet1. Option B, remove user1 from the security reader role for subscription 1 and then assign the user1 to the contributor role for RG1. And then option C says assign user1 to owner role for VNet1. And lastly, assign user1 the network contributor role for RG1. And please note the subtle differences between the options. Sometimes we have RG1 and sometimes we have VNet1. And the correct answer to this question is option C, assign user1 the owner role for VNet1. Now friends, I have more variations of the same question, but this time these variations are little special. And special in the sense, in most of the variations, the other options are normally incorrect. But in these variations for this question, all the other variations have correct options. So here it comes, question number 82. Question exactly is the same. Let's read the options given. Option A, assign user1 to the network contributor role for VNet1. Option B, remove the user1 from the security reader role for subscription 1 and then assign user1 to the contributor role for RG1. And then at the option C, we have assign user1 the role-based access control administrator for VNet1. And lastly, assign user1 the network contributor role for RG1. And this time, my friends, the correct option is assign user1 the role-based access control administrator for VNet1. Now friends, if you really have understood the question very well, the main ask of the question is that the user1 can assign the reader role for VNet1 to other users. So that means user1 should be able to assign roles to other users, which essentially means that the user should be able to assign RBAC roles in Azure. And if you remember the questions correctly, in the question number 81, we chose the role owner. And here you can read that the owner role grants full access to manage all resources, including the ability to assign roles in Azure RBAC. And then in the question number 82, we chose the role as role-based access control administrator, which is still in preview, but by the time you give the exam, who knows, this becomes a full-fledged role. Here you can read that this role also manages access to the Azure resources by assigning the roles using Azure RBAC. And please note that this role does not allow you to manage access using other ways such as Azure Policy. So in case there is a policy in the question, then in that case you should not choose role-based access control administrator, but go for the owner role. And you know what? I have one more variation. Let's check it out. Question number 83. Question exactly is the same. The options are also same except this one, option C. The option says assign user1 the user access administrator for VNet1. And of course, this is also the correct option. So let's validate the answer for the question number 83. Here you can see user access administrator, and this one also allows you to assign roles in Azure RBAC. And that's why this is also the correct answer. So now you have seen how can the things change in the real exam. One question, 3 correct answers. So friends, as I said in the opening part of the video, user access management is a really important topic but equally confusing. So please read the documentation very carefully. The links are there in the description box. Now let's take few more questions on user management. So here it comes, question number 84. The question says that you have an Azure Active Directory tenant that contains 5,000 user accounts. Now you create a new user account named admin user1. You need to assign the user administrator role to admin user1. What should you do from the user account properties? Your options are option A, from the licenses blade, assign new license, and option B is from the directory role blade, modify the directory role, and then option C says from the groups blade, invite the user account to a new group. And the correct option is from the directory role blade, modify the directory role. And friends, here is the step-by-step process on how you can achieve this. So first of all, you have to sign into the Azure portal using the account that has the necessary administrative privileges. And then on the left-hand side of the menu, you have to go to the Azure Active Directory. And then under the Azure Active Directory, click the roles and the administrators. And once you have done that, then go to the directory roles blade, locate the user admin role, click on the user admin role and open it. And then in the user administrator blade, click on the add assignment button. And in the next step, search and select the user account admin user 1, which is also given in the question. And then you have to click add button to assign the user administrator role to admin user 1. And this will grant admin user 1 the necessary administrative privileges as the user administrator in Azure AD. Now let's move on to the next question, question number 85. The question says that you have an Azure Active Directory tenant named contoso.onmicrosoft.com that contains 100 user accounts. Now you purchased 10 Azure AD Premium P2 licenses for the tenant, and you need to ensure that 10 users can use all the Azure AD Premium features. What should you do? Your options are option A, from the groups blade of each user, invite the users to a group, and then option B says from the licenses blade of Azure AD, assign a license, and then option C says from the directory role blade of each user, modify the directory role, and lastly from the Azure AD domain, add the enterprise application. And the correct answer is option B, from the licenses blade of Azure AD, assign the license. Now friends, as you already might know, there are a lot of changes that have come in Azure Active Directory in the recent times. And just so you know, Azure Active Directory has now become the part of Microsoft Entra. And that's why there is a new version of this question. So let's check it out. Question number 86. The wording of the question is not exactly the same, but still core concept is same. So let's read the question. The question says that your company wants to use Microsoft Entra services. Now you are required to license each of your users or groups for that service. How should you do that? And your options are from the group blade of each user, invite the users to a group. And then the option B says that you have to go to the Microsoft Entra Admin Center and browse to the licenses. And a very similar option, option number C, in this also you have to go to the Microsoft Entra Admin Center and then you browse to the identity and go to the billing and finally go to the licenses. And then at the option number D, we have from the Azure AD domain, add an enterprise application. And friends, the correct way to do this in Microsoft Entra is given in the option number C. Go to the Microsoft Entra Admin Center, then browse to the identity, go to the billing, and finally go to the licenses. So in this documentation, you can understand how to assign a license to a user. First of all, you have to sign in to the Microsoft Entra Admin Center. But remember, you have to sign in at least using License Administrator. And then as a step 2, you browse to the identity, you go to the billing, and then you come to the licenses part. And then you can also read that select the name of the license plan you want to assign to the user. After you have selected the license plan, you can select assign. And you can see that in this image also. Then as the step 5, you have to go to the assign page, select the users and the group, and then search for and select the user you are assigning the license. Then at the number 6, you have to select the assignment options and you have to make sure that you have the appropriate license option turned on, and then you select OK. So this is how you assign the license to each of your users or the groups. I hope you understood the concept. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 87 says that you have an Azure subscription that contains a storage account named Storage 1. Now you create a blob storage named Container 1 in the Storage 1. What is the maximum number of stored access policies that you can create for Container 1? Your options are option A 1, option B 3, option C 5, option D 10, and lastly option E 64. And the correct answer is option C 5. And now we have question number 88 that says that you have an Azure Active Directory tenant named contosocloud.onmicrosoft.com. Now your company has a public DNS zone for contoso.com, and then you add contoso.com as a custom domain name to Azure AD. You need to ensure that the Azure can verify the domain name. Which type of DNS record should you create? Your options are option A MX, option B NSEC, option C PTR, and lastly option D, RRSIG. And the correct answer for this question is option A, MX. And friends, with all my research, I found one more variation of the same question, and you know what? That also has the correct answer. And this surely will release all your confusions around this question. So here it comes, question number 89. Question exactly is the same. Let's read the options. Option A says SRV, option B PTR, then option C is RRSIG, and lastly at option D we have TXT. And the correct answer is option D, TXT. Now, because there is so much confusion among these options and the correct answers, MX or TXT, let's validate the answer. So now I'm on the Microsoft documentation. So let's understand how to verify your custom domain name. So as the first step, you have to sign in to the Microsoft Entra Admin Center as at least domain name administrator. And then once again, as we saw in the previous question, you have to browse to the identity, go to the settings, and then you have domain names. And then in the step 3, in the custom domain names, you have to select the custom domain name, which in this case is contoso.com, similar to the question. So you can see that in this figure also. And then as a step 4, you have to be on the contoso.com page, select the verified to make sure that the custom domain property is registered and is valid. So here you can see that we have record type as TXT or MX, and that's exactly our validation. And friends, if you really like our research, the way we bring loads of variations of the same question, the right answers, and also go extra mile to validate the answer and bring the correct Microsoft documentation for you, then please give this video a thumbs up. This really boosts my confidence and help us reach wider audience. I know you've still not pressed the like button, so please do it now. So here it comes, question number 90. Really interesting question. Let's read it out. So the question says that you need to create more than one DNS record with a given name and type. Now suppose the www.thetechblackboard.com, of course in the real exam that will be contoso.com, but then sometimes you have to do your own publicity. So it doesn't matter whether it's a www.thetechblackboard.com or contoso.com. And of course that's a reminder that you should visit thetechblackboard.com more often and read our blog and enhance your knowledge. So the question was saying that suppose the techblackboard.com website is hosted on 2 different IP addresses. Now the website requires 2 different A records, one for each IP address. Here's an example of the record set. Here you can see the record set. How would you create the second record? So here you can see that we have 2 records of techblackboard.com. Both have A records and both IP addresses are also given here. Now let's read the options. The first option is add the record to existing record set. Option B is create an additional record set. Option C, add SPF record. And option D is add SRV records. And the correct answer is option A, add the record to the existing record set. And this one, my friends, is a really tricky question. There is a lot of debate on the internet for this question. So that's why let's validate our answer. So here's the documentation to validate the answer. Here you can read, it says that sometimes you need to create more than one DNS record with a given name and type. For example, www.contoso.com, as I said, the real question will always have this contoso.com website that is hosted on 2 different IP addresses. So you can see this is exactly what we read in the question as well. The table is very similar as well. Here you can read in this paragraph that, for example, suppose you already have created an A record www in the zone contoso.com pointing to the IP address 134.170.185.46. Now to create the second record, you would add that record to the existing record. Please note, you would add the record to the existing record set. And that's the exact validation of our question as well. And friends, if you have any suggestions, feedback or questions that you want me to take in the upcoming episodes, do let me know in the comment section, or you can also email me at connectus@thetechblackboard.com. And also if you're looking Microsoft Azure and Amazon AWS as a career option, then subscribing to our channel would be a really good idea as we bring multiple videos and shorts every week to enhance your learning. And please like and share this video, read our blogs, and that's all for today. I will see you in the next video. Till then, stay fit, keep learning, and thanks for watching.